like King Solomon. Mateo Woodside, he attends the Sherland C. Boodle High School. He wants to study business administration, and he says, work hard in silence, let your success be your noise, like Frank Ocean. Anifa Wright, he attends a Capricorn International School Academy. He wants to study sports management, and his quote is, change will not come if you wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for, by Barack Obama. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a rousing round of applause for the honorees of the class of 2026, the Bahamas Alphas Educational and Leadership Foundation. They represent the top graduating male students in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
What a distinguished group of young men. With this program having been in existence for 39 years, the program has a rich history of honoring and awarding many, many distinguished young men in this country. And so we are pleased today to have with us the valedictorian of the 2025 Honors Day program, Dante Butler, who will come and bring some remarks. Dante is a freshman at Tulane University in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. Mastery demands all of a person. Albert Einstein. This potent quote from one of the greatest scientists and researchers of all time is one that I don't believe has faded with time, but rather has simply proved to be increasingly true. What does it truly mean to master something? Naturally, we all assume someone who has an elite level of proficiency in a subject or topic is a master. But to truly master something comes at a cost. Ladies and gentlemen, protocols having been established, a pleasant good afternoon. I would like to first acknowledge and thank the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the Bahamas Alphas and Educational Leadership Foundation for their generosity and pouring into me via a scholarship to further my studies at Tulane University. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. William Ernest Henley. Today is not just a celebration of achievement. It is a recognition of disciplines, resilience, and the quiet decisions made long before this moment. Decisions to stay focused, to stay committed, and to keep going when it would have been easier to stop. Honorees, I remember when I sat in the same seats you sit in now. In my school's uniform, gray trousers with a bright red tie, a clear indicator that I was a member of the Big Red Machine. I vividly recall the tension that was present in the air. Aside from the blinding lights on the stage flashing in my eyes, and the smell of popcorn permeating through my nostrils, leaving me confused as to whether I was in a show or watching one. How many of us truly feel like we're in control of everything? I can certainly say we all know some people who would love to be in control. Even worse, we all know some people who really think they are in control. or in Bahamian terms, large and in charge. They're real crowd favorites. Today's theme, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, does not attempt to convince us that we are in control of everything, but rather aims to shift our perspective to see that we are in control of a certain aspect of our lives, our fate, in essence, our destiny. As Einstein said, mastery requires all of a person. So the key to truly mastering your own fate is going all in. Although it may seem self-explanatory and obvious, the truth is that many fail to seize the moment and take control of the outcomes of their lives. In his book, Understanding Your True Potential, Dr. Miles Monroe said that the greatest tragedy of human life is that people don't live up to their full potential. And where's the greatest source of potential, you may ask? Not the hospital where new lives begin, but rather the graveyard where old lives ended. All the individuals who died with an abundance of potential allowed life to happen to them instead of making life happen. And that is why this theme matters. These words are not simply meant to be admired, they are meant to be lived. It is a warning against the passive mindset that in life we are shaped by circumstances and what conditions we have been provided with. The idea that past accomplishments or limits we have placed on ourselves or that others have placed on us define us. That is nothing short of a lie. Honorees, you have the power to dictate how far you will go in this life. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. However, mastery of fate requires giving everything to the fate that you envision for yourself. It is for this reason that so many people never reach their true potential. It requires hardship. It requires perseverance. It requires sacrifice. After all, if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was easy to be an honoree in this room, everyone would be here. For me, in my very first year of college, the challenge I faced was a central part of the college experience: housing and my roommate. Who would have thought that going from living with your family in a familiar space to moving in with a complete stranger from a totally different country and culture could be problematic? In all honesty, in my opinion, the captain of shared and roommate housing may be a ship that needs to sink. I'll just say my roommate wasn't the best. This was something I had no control over, and a space that was meant to be a source of peace and comfort for me became an area I dreaded. How can you hope to succeed in classes if the place you live in is so miserable? It would seem as if my fate was to enter into a downward spiral. It was unfair, right? That's the approach that leads to untapped potential. Instead, I decided that I would play with the hand I was dealt. I found alternative study spots to do my work in. I timed my schedules in the best way to ensure our in-room times didn't overlap more than they needed to. In the end, I adapted. Was it easy? No, but nothing worthwhile ever is. Honorees, I say this to show you that while you all have accomplishments worth noting, thus far, your story is far from being completed. There will be more challenges ahead. Understand this: the world will often try to define you before you have the chance to define yourself. It will place limits on your potential, question your ability, and sometimes misunderstand your purpose. But you cannot afford to let the world write your story. You must take the pen. Know who you are. The beauty of this theme is that it must be viewed in the proper light. Being the master of your fate is not about controlling every outcome. It's about controlling your response. It's about deciding that no matter the circumstance, you will not lower your standard. No matter the setback, it will not affect your work ethic. You will not allow anything in this life to change your goals or what you can believe, what you can do. On the other hand, what does it mean to be the captain of your soul? For me, this is much deeper. My foundation has always been in Christ Jesus. That is where my identity comes from. Once I am solidly grounded in Him, everything else flows. It doesn't matter how impressive a ship's rudder is if the captain cannot steer it. It's about character. It's about who you are when no one is watching. It's about choosing integrity when shortcuts are available. It's about choosing discipline when distractions are everywhere. It's about choosing purpose over popularity. That's the kind of leadership that the world needs. That's the kind of leadership I believe is in this room right now. Not just people who achieve or make money, but men who stand for something. The same discipline that brought you here must carry you forward. The same focus that earned you recognition must guide your future decisions. Because honors don't define you. Your habits do. Your consistency, your values, your willingness to grow when no one is rewarding you for it. That is what will determine your future. Do not wait for perfect conditions to pursue your purpose. Do not allow fear to make your decisions for you. Do not shrink to fit into spaces that were never designed for you to fit into. Instead, step forward with intention. Take ownership of your life. Be disciplined in your actions. Be unwavering in your faith. And when life becomes uncertain, as it inevitably will, remember this: you may not control every situation or your college roommate, but you always control who you become through it. So stand firm, stand with purpose, and no matter where life takes you, be able to say with confidence that you chose your direction, that you stayed true to your values, that you were and always will be the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Congratulations, honorees, and thank you.
Thank you once again, Dante, for your powerful words of encouragement, and we wish you all the best on your continued studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for being here. There's so many different things and so many different places that you could have been, but you decided to join us here today. I'd like to take this time to recognize some of the special guests that we have with us here today. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Mavis Kukua Bisu Boateng, Member of Parliament for the Ahanta West constituency in the Republic of Ghana, as well as I'd also like to recognize the presence of the Honorable Emmanuel Kwadwo Ajekom, Minister of State in charge of Special Initiatives in the Republic of Ghana. Coming now to bring remarks is a lady familiar to this stage, no stranger to this platform, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, Minister of Education, Technology, and Training.
Good afternoon, everyone. So good to be here. I have a written script, but I wanted to just say, I am so proud of these young men. And I know many of them because I've seen them over the years, but they have defied the narrative that is out there about our young men, our young Bahamian men. And they are standing up and shining as the example of what our men are and what this nation is. And I want to encourage all of you young men, defy the narrative, resist mediocrity, go forth, let the world know where you come from, who you are, and what you can do. And I say that because I mean it. I believe it. And I know you will do well. And I just want to say, written script now. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of national pride that I extend warm commendations to the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the Bahamas Alpha's Educational and Leadership Foundation and honorees on the occasion of their 39th Honors Day Convocation. This long-standing tradition continues to stand as a beacon of excellence, discipline, and purpose in the recognition and development of our nation's young men. This year's theme, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, speaks to the resilience, personal responsibility, and inner strength required for our young men to charter their own paths to success. This message is particularly vital today as they navigate increasingly financial and psychological pressures that threaten to impede their progress, but will not under no circumstance. For 39 years, this awards program has remained resolute in its mission to recognize our top graduation high school males and to provide critical support, encouragement, and opportunity. The enduring impact of this initiative is nothing short of remarkable. With over $30 million in direct scholarships awarded to deserving young men, many of whom have gone on to earn degrees from prestigious colleges and universities, this program has helped to shape generations of leaders. These opportunities do more than transform individual lives. They strengthen our nation. As these young men return home equipped with the knowledge, skills, and vision necessary to contribute meaningfully to our national development. I commend this organization for its steadfast commitment to celebrating academic excellence and cultivating leadership among high school graduating males throughout the Bahamas. I am particularly encouraged by the impressive breadth of participation in this year's program, featuring over 70 of our nation's finest graduating males. Representing males throughout the country, representing islands from Abaco to Inagua. This broad national representation reflects not only the reach of this initiative, but also the depth of talent, promise, and potential that exists across our islands in this beautiful country. Furthermore, the selection of Dr. Mark Brown, 10th President of Tuskegee University, as guest speaker underscores the significance of this occasion, bringing inspiration from one of our most distinguished institutions dedicated to the advancement of education and leadership. The Ministry of Education is proud to support the efforts of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the Bahamas Alphas Education and Leadership Foundation in this noble endeavor. Your work continues to inspire, uplift, and create pathways for success, particularly among our young men who will play a vital role in shaping the future of the Bahamas. Finally, I extend heartfelt congratulations to the 2026 honorees on this significant achievement. Your dedication, I tell you young men, your dedication, perseverance, commitment to excellence have distinguished you among your peers. As you prepare to embark on the next chapter of your journey, I encourage you to remain steadfast in your resolve, pursue your ambitions with vigor, and embrace the profound responsibility that accompanies your success. We look forward to your return, equipped and empowered to make meaningful contributions to the continued growth and development of our beloved Bahamas. May the 39th Honors Day Convocation continue to inspire generations to come. You are trailblazers, and may God continue to bless this organization and all of the young men that you serve. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go forth, young men!
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Coming now to bring remarks all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, is Dr. Maurice Gibson, the President of Philander Smith University.
Good afternoon. Oh, we can do better than that. Good afternoon. All right. Have some excitement. We just had 75 young Black men come across this stage. That is worthy of excitement. So I understand that protocol has already been established, but I must say this. I know we have the Honorable Herschel Walker in the audience, who is the ambassador, but I like to flip that. We have a Heisman winning football player in the audience who happens to be an ambassador. So we're so grateful for you, Ambassador Walker. If you have not seen his highlight reels from the University of Georgia, you are definitely missing out. I'd also like to recognize my colleague and good friend, Dr. Brown at Tuskegee University. I was sitting by his lovely wife earlier and saying that, you know what, there are going to be 10 Philander young men come across this stage, and I saw 0, so I lost the bet with your wife. And last and certainly not least, my good friend, the former president of Philander Smith University, the 14th president, Dr. Roger Smothers. Thank you for all of your work and good stuff. And to the men of Alpha Phi Alpha in the Bahamas, please stand. Let me see all the Alpha men who are here today. Brothers, what you have done in the Bahamas over the last 39 years needs to be studied. It needs to be replicated. When we think about our founding jewels in 1906 at Cornell University, what they talked about is what you are doing here each and every day. So thank you for your good work, Brother Cargill. Thank you, Brothers of the Bahamas, for inspiring these young men. Now, I was not expecting to speak, and I definitely didn't expect to speak after the minister, so I'm going to sit down in just 2 minutes. But I want to say this before I do. This theme is predicated on Sir William Ernest Henley's poem, Invictus, which I know many of you young men and those in the audience know. And one of my favorite parts of the poem is not necessarily the end where it talks about being the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. I think that's absolutely true. I think it's invigorating. But there's another part that really speaks to the Black experience, not only in the Bahamas, but internationally. And that part is, my head is bloodied, but unbowed. Think about that for a second. My head is bloody, but it is unbowed. Someone somewhere in your life said that you would not make it. My head is bloody, but unbowed. Somebody somewhere said, you know what? There is no way a kid from the Bahamas is gonna go over and do great work and study in the finest institutions. Your head may be bloodied, but it remains unbowed. Somewhere in America, somebody is going to serve you cold snapper and rice and peas. In that case, yeah, you unbow your head and go charge forth and ask for the manager. Young men, what you are doing is inspiring a generation. The work that you are going to do is going to inspire so many after you. Think about the legacy that each and every one of you are walking in. This is the 39th Alpha Scholars Program. 39th, which means there were 38 before you who went and did great work right at Philander Smith University, where none of you are coming. Currently, our highest ranking male on campus, he's Mr. Philander Smith University, Ashton Cartwright, a Bahamian citizen. Our former Student Government Association president, a Bahamian citizen. I was telling the minister as I sat beside her, if I could just get 800 more of you at our school, we'd be the Harvard of the South. So I am so thankful, so appreciative for my invitation here. I'm hopeful that I can inspire at least one young man to come to Philander. Is there anyone who wants to come to Philander on a full ride? Whoa. Wow. Okay, all right. I feel a little better now. And now that I've seen so many hands rise, Brother Cargo, I might give you just one more presidential. See, two presidentials to make sure that the Bahamas remains represented at Philander Smith University. So thank you so much for all that you do. Congratulations, young man. Go forth inspired and continue to do good work.
Thank you, Dr. Gibson. I now invite to the podium His Excellency Herschel Walker, United States Ambassador to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and as Dr. Gibson pointed out, former Heisman Trophy winner.
You know, I'm from the world of sports, and I used to have a coach by the name of Ert Russell that used to come into a room, and whether it was raining outside or snowing outside or lightning outside, he used to say, "What a day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." So I say congratulations to all you 70 plus honorees from the high school all across the Bahamas. Alpha Phi Alpha has a proud legacy of a lot of distinguished men like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who stated knowledge open doors and an education can help build a better world. That's an inspiring American whose message of equality and justice is great for both our nations. And I'm happy to see all the U.S. University presidents here, and Dr. Brown from Tuskegee University. It's good to see you, sir. And we've had previous honorees from Princeton, Harvard, Tulane, and several HBCUs, universities. And the theme today, I am the master of my faith. I am the captain of my soul. Remind me of something another great coach told me once, Coach Tom Landry. He said, "I chart the course. I don't wait for a clear breeze because the wind will always blow." Students who's considering to study in the U.S., I encourage you to go to Education USA, to the Bahamas Technical Vocational Institute, and connect with them online. And there's resources that'll help you with the application. And there's also will help you with visas, which I get asked that a lot. The U.S. Embassy is partnership with the BTVI and will host educational college and university fair in October. We have fairs in New Providence in the Grand Bahamas. And we have a virtual fair for the Family Islands. And I must tell you something, that I was the first person to leave college to go play professional sports. And I had promised my parents that I was going to get my education, and I didn't do it. But after 42 years, I returned back to the University of Georgia and got my degree. And not only did I return back to the University of Georgia, but I helped to put in that now any athlete that ever was on scholarship at the University of Georgia, the scholarship is for life. And I'm trying to put that throughout the SEC. Because education is the key. And I'm not going to sit here and say a college education or a trade school education. I'm here to say an education, because I want you to train the mind as well as the body. But I must tell you, you will get knocked down, but get up. You're going to get tired, but it'll go away. And they're going to tell you you can't, but I'm here to tell you you can. So I want to say never, never, never give up. Because if I did it, you can do it as well. God bless. Thank you, guys. Thank you now.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Walker. We now have a video presentation from Tuskegee University, and immediately following the video presentation, I will welcome Brother Dr. Roderick Smothers to the podium, who is the Executive Vice President at Virginia Union University, to introduce our keynote speaker.
I am Mark Brown, the 10th president of Tuskegee University. I am humbled, excited, and so very proud to be on these hallowed grounds. It's no mistake that I'm standing in front of the iconic statue of Dr. Booker T. Washington as he unveils the ignorance from those slaves who were brought to us to be educated so many years ago. Dr. Washington, along with Lewis Adams and the Alabama state legislature, decided to invest in education here at Tuskegee. 143 years later, it's proven to be an amazing investment. You see, Tuskegee has been providing ingenuity, intelligence, and brilliance to the United States of America since its inception. I look forward to telling you how our country has invested in the students, the teachers, as well as the faculty and the leaders of this university over many, many years. To be clear, Tuskegee has always answered the nation's call. When our veterans were returning from war, it was a Tuskegee president that donated the land to build the Veterans Hospital. That hospital allowed a place for veterans to come and get care when they could not get care elsewhere in the Black Belt of the South. That hospital, along with John Andrews Hospital, would later become a place where newly minted doctors of color would go and do their clinicals because they were not allowed to go other places. Tuskegee has always answered the nation's call. Now that's the Tuskegee way. Before we break, I want to introduce you to my wife of 33 years, Gwendolyn Jackson Brown, who will be the next First Lady of Tuskegee University. And then I want all of what's most important about Tuskegee, the students, to join me. Let's go. Come on, guys. Yeah. And all together. On three, we're going to say happy birthday, Tuskegee, right? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Tuskegee! And now, why don't you take me home with the best band in the land, the oldest HBCU band in the country, the Marching Crimson Piper Band, Jam Piper's Jam.
And welcome to the Tuskegee in 1 Minute series. My name is Ariel O'Neill. I am a graduating political science senior history minor here at the illustrious Tuskegee University. Today, we spotlight our newest president, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown. As our first alumni president, we welcome him back home to where it all began. Guided by his grandmother's advice, if you go down to Tuskegee, they will take care of you. And Mother Tuskegee did just that. Dr. Brown immersed himself fully in the culture and pillars of Tuskegee University. As a proud member of the Marching Crimson Piper Band, a member of the Gamma Phi chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and an Air Force ROTC cadet, he embodied service, scholarship, and leadership from the very start. After his time at the pride of the swift-growing South, Dr. Brown served our nation for 32 years in the United States Air Force, retiring amongst the distinguished 4% of Black two-star generals. He later continued his commitment to service and education as Executive Director of the Student Freedom Initiative, working diligently alongside Robert F. Smith to invest in the futures of America's students. Now, Dr. Brown has returned to lead Tuskegee University into what he refers to as the Renaissance era. Supported by his wife, Gwendolyn Jackson Brown, and their 2 adult sons, Mark II and Michael. He leads with pride, purpose, and a deep love for this institution, like only a true Golden Tiger can. That's the Tuskegee way.
Hello, Tuskegee family and friends. This year, Tuskegee University students used President's Day to recognize the many accomplishments of past Tuskegee presidents and their impact not only on Tuskegee University, but also the world. So as this month comes to a close and the series concludes, please allow me to brag and boast about the last president to be featured in this series. Of course, I am referring to the current president, also known as number 10, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown. In 2024, Tuskegee University made history once again with the selection of Dr. Mark Anthony Brown as president and CEO of the university, the first alumnus in the history of the university, having graduated in 1986. During his time as president, less than 2 years, Dr. Brown arrived at the university ready to roll up his sleeves and get to work. To date, his accomplishments include the renovation and the reopening of both Olivia Davidson and Lewis Adams residence halls, increased enrollment, implementation of the aviation science program with over 24 students, half being female, many obtaining their private pilot's license, installation of the flight simulators for students, breaking ground for the genomics research lab and the small animal clinic, opening of the campus Chick-fil-A, installation of lights on the football field, allowing for the Tuskegee University's first night game to a sellout crowd. And beginning this fall, we will have Tuskegee University soccer program, followed by the Tuskegee University Global Campus. But that is not all. Mark can best be described as the university's biggest cheerleader. In fact, you're likely to find him anywhere championing the university's accolades, including sporting events, chapel, the cafeteria, dormitories, community churches, alumni events, and even the U.S. Capitol Hill hearings, just to name a few. He loves to engage in dialogue with students, faculty, donors, alumni, parents, civic leaders, and even his harshest critics. People often ask me, where does my husband and roommate of almost 36 years get his energy? How does he do it, they ask. My reply is simple. He loves what he does and he believes he can make a difference. He tells everyone that he has the best job in the world. This is truly a labor of love for him. As we go forth with President number 10, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown, into the Renaissance era, the rebirth and modernization of Tuskegee University, based on the aspirations of Principal Booker T. Washington, developing the hand, the head, and the heart. In the words of Dr. Brown, we are the help that we need, and we are enough. We are Tuskegee University, solving the world's most complex problems. That, my friends, is the Tuskegee way.
Good afternoon to my brothers of the greatest fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, those of the Iota Epsilon Lambda, Phi Mu, and Sigma Beta Lambda chapters, to the brothers who comprise the Alpha Educational Leadership Foundation, no doubt to our Minister of Education, to the great ambassador. It's an honor to see you and get close in proximity to you. Would love to shake your hand. And no doubt to the 15th president of Philander Smith University, Dr. Maurice Gibson. I just want to say, Dr. Gibson and Dr. Brown, that you two still have an opportunity to take as many of these young men with you back home to Philander Smith University and to Tuskegee University. In fact, Dr. Gibson, I'm sure you saw all of those hands, and I know you will govern yourself accordingly. And to the featured speaker, whom I will attempt to introduce because the video has said everything that I would have ever said, and so I'm just going to make this very brief. But he said to me as we stood on the stage and helped the minister to give out certificates and medallions, he said, I'm going to take as many of those young men back with me as I can get in my extended Suburban. So I know that at least 10 of them can fit in an extended Suburban, Mr. President. It is my distinct honor to introduce a leader whose journey reflects both legacy and forward momentum. Today, we gather in partnership with the Alpha Honors Day, celebrating 75 years of outstanding Bahamian scholars and young men who have no doubt, as you have heard, announced by Brother Cargill,
distinguished themselves already in so many fields of leadership and scholarship and service. This moment is not just about recognition, however. It is about continuity. It is about standing on the shoulders of those who came before us while preparing to lead in a world that demands excellence. And there is no better embodiment of that than the continuum that the president represents, who will speak to us today. In 1881, Booker T. Washington began a journey to establish what was then Tuskegee Institute. He faced extraordinary odds and barriers, racism, the harsh realities of Jim Crow South, and laws and systems designed to limit the opportunity of those who look like us. Yet, young men, he persisted. Through vision, discipline, and an unshakable belief in the power of education, he built an institution that would become one of the most iconic HBCUs in the world. His philosophies, often debated and contrasted with that of W.E.B. Du Bois, was rooted in self-determination, economic empowerment, and the practical application of knowledge to uplift the people. Now here we are today, more than a century later, that the institution stands as the global beacon of excellence, and today it is led by a man who walks in those historic footsteps in humility and in truth and in strength, as his students and as his colleagues at Tuskegee, and even as his beautiful wife have told you. A proud alumnus of Tuskegee University, he most recently assumed the presidency of his alma mater as the first alum selected to lead this cherished HBCU, bringing with him a lifetime of leadership, of service, and commitment to the nation and indeed the community. He is a leader who understands both structure and soul, both strategy and sacrifice. He represents the very ideals we celebrate today: excellence, resilience, and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the stage the General, and no doubt the 10th President of Tuskegee University, Dr. Mark Brown.
Well, good afternoon. It is so exciting to be here, to see all of these faces, to see the medallions around your neck, to see you as winners. But I do want to take one thing outside of the normalness of this. I want you all to stand up for me. All of you young men, stand up for me. Turn around. Find out if your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it was that helped you get here, give them a round of applause. The one thing we know as college presidents is we know what happened at home when we get the product that's on our doorsteps. And I will tell you now, there are 70 plus of these young men. And as a college president, a sitting college president, I will tell you, in all honesty, if I could find a way to book all of you all on my flight home, every single one of you would be coming home with me today. Thank you all so much. You can have a seat. And thank you to your parents. Good afternoon, my good and faithful brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Honored guests, educators, parents, the Minister of Education. I don't know if she's gone, but she's a powerful speaker. And most importantly, the young men that we celebrate today. Now, offer me one more personal point, if I could. You know, when I told my roommate of 36 years, and let me tell you, you always get a good roommate. Now, I've had my roommate for 36 years, almost. I said, I'm coming to the Bahamas. It's the distinguished men of Alpha Phi Alpha that have invited me. And I thought I would impress her. I said, we're going to be there. They've been doing this for 39 years. It's a big deal. The first thing she said to me was, you think I'll meet Ambassador Walker? This is a true story. Now, when I got married to her, and some of you will understand this, she said, we were talking a little bit about football. She said, you know, you can't spell sugar without UGA. So I want you, if you do nothing else for me, Ambassador,
please shake her hand or something. So I'll be all right going home today. Thank you so much, sir. I will tell you that at one point in my progression, I was a commander of a base in San Antonio, Texas, where we brought in all of new trainees. And we asked them, we were having a resilience discussion, and he may not remember this, but we said, who is it that you would like to speak to you? Hands down, the speaker that they wanted was now Ambassador Herschel Walker. And he came, and I don't know if you remember this, he came to San Antonio to talk to the Air Force men and women, and they were so impressed with his walk in life, his ability to get back up, his resilience, that they wanted him to come over and over again. So I would tell you, although he is a great football player, there's no question about it. He is one of the greatest football players of our age. On a little black and white TV in Georgia, I watched the tear-off jersey all the time of Herschel Walker. But even more so than that, this is a great man that you have for your ambassador. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd also like to thank Brother Smothers, Dr. Gibson, and I want to correct something for them. The way the math works, not all of these students will be going home with you. These are the presidents of Philander Smith University. They are great HBCU presidents, and I want to thank them for the work that they have done with scholarship, with this event, and with so many other events around the country. Thank you all both so very much. Gwen and I are elated to be in the Bahamas, a nation rich in culture, faith, resilience, and promise. I am especially grateful to the Bahamian Alphas for their Education and Leadership Foundation, for almost 4 decades of quiet, consistent, and consequential work that has opened doors for young men and I believe changed the trajectory of their families. Now, I know my job today is to communicate about persistence, education, and to do so for what I call Generation Z, the young men I'm looking at. Now, I ought to know how to communicate. I'm a college president after all. But let me tell you, brothers, that is not easy to do. Communicating to Generation Z has proven to be a challenge. Can I share a quick personal story? You know, Gwen and I moved around quite a bit as a military family. At times, we would need to change schools for our 2 young boys who were about 2 years different in age. They too are Generation Z. At one point, the boys were in a Catholic school. Now, in this small Catholic school, the father of that school acted as the principal, and the nun, she acted as the teacher. Now, my 2 boys, I'm sure not unlike you boys here, they would act up sometime in school. The boys being boys, they would get in trouble every now and then. At one point, this acting got out of hand, so the nun told the boys, she said, if you continue to act up, I'm going to take you to see the father who was the principal in the school. As promised, one morning, the nun marched the boys. Mark was the oldest, Michael the youngest. She marched them right in to see the father of the school. She had them report in with Mark, the oldest, going first. Now the father, the principal, having been briefed on the boys' behavior, decided that he would scare them straight. He got up real to the boy, close to the boys, first Mark, and he shouted, young man, where is God? Young Mark was startled, and the father, sensing that this tactic was working, shouted again, young man, I said, where is God? Mark was so startled that he ran out of the office and down the hall, only to find his brother hiding in the closet because he'd heard all of the commotion. Mark opened the closet and told his brother, Michael, we're in trouble this time. God is missing, and they think we did it. Communicating with this Generation Z is different. You got to say exactly what's on your mind. So let me just tell you real quick that, brothers, what you are doing here is not ordinary. As I heard say earlier, for 39 years, this Honors Day Convocation has stood as proof that excellence is not accidental and that someone is always watching, preparing the way and paving the price for the next generation. You know, I'm one representative of Tuskegee's legacy, but I'm so happy to return to the Bahamas. I'm careful to mention that I mean return when I say return to the Bahamas. I've made it a habit whenever I'm visiting locations across the globe to go to the Tuskegee archives to learn whether Tuskegee presidents have gone before me and whether there is a Tuskegee relationship that existed prior to my arrival. Inevitably, Booker T. Washington or others of our 9 presidents have already trodden the grounds. The Bahamas is no exception to that rule. It was not earlier than the year 1940 that Tuskegee Institute was already recognized across the Caribbean as a model of education rooted in dignity, skill, and self-reliance. The educational model was the hand, train it, the head, educate it, the heart, don't forget it. That year, some 86 years ago, Tuskegee faculty traveled to the Bahamas to advise the government on vocational education, staffing, and equipment. The president at the time was Frederick Douglass Patterson. He came here. He was an alpha man. He also was the founder of the United Negro College Fund, always trying to make sure that we did not forget the talent that existed in your country, the Bahamas. Now think about that for a second. Long before international partnerships were fashionable, long before global educational pipelines were talked about, Tuskegee was already serving, advising, and building capacity with this great country. And many Bahamian students have followed that path since that time, studying at historically Black colleges and universities, graduating, returning home, and leading in this country. This is not a coincidence, it's continuity. And today, you alpha men continue those traditions of service and education, evident to me by this thoughtful event, and all of the good work that you do for this country. This Honors Day program is not just about scholarships, although that's it. It's also about standards. It's about process. It's about preparation. 6 months of writing, testing, interviews, leadership development, and discipline. Gentlemen, this is not charity. This is like a military formation. You are preparing for the battle to educate the next generation of leaders from your country. Give these alphas a round of applause for preparing for the battleground of educating young Black men. And that's exactly what alpha has always been about. Developing men who are not just successful, but steady, gifted, but grounded, ready to lead. And to that end, I have to thank you again for your theme, Invictus. That's almost an anthem to the world if you're an alpha man. It certainly was for me. To understand your theme, you have to understand the context from which it was written. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. That's the celebration portion, really, of a very well-written, known alpha song. It follows a redemptive power, a recognition of suffering, sacrifice, and overwhelming challenges which came first before the celebration anthem. The celebration actually comes last, as the suffering and work is the setup that makes it such a powerful theme. Now, it's not just any celebration. It's a very specific one. It's about self-control. It's about deep understanding of how one's mental state and belief in oneself can shape one's destiny. I, like many of the alphas here, I learned this poem as I aspired to be an alpha and was taught to lean on it in challenging times and when making decisions that appear difficult, if not impossible. Every alpha was taught that poem. I learned to love those words and to recite them word for word without hesitation upon request of my big brothers. As for me, I stood on the sacred grounds of Tuskegee in the fall of 1983 and belted out without hesitation or the benefit of notes. At the instant request, I said, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, oh, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll, and then every alpha knows how it ends. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I want to be clear with you. These words are not poetry alone. They are responsibility. They speak to the long understood intersection of the Black man, the determination that must be a part of any pursuit of an education. Go to high school, go to college. That's been with us for some time. I've often wondered what inspired the poem. We talked about William Henley's collection, Book of Verses. That was the writer, but when did he write it? He wrote it when he was sick. He wrote it on his hospital bed. As a young child and young adult, he had tuberculosis of the bone. He had lost one leg below the knee and spent years in hospitals. Doctors believed the other leg would be amputated. As an adult, he was in the hospital bed when he composed the poem. He was confined and thought he might die. At its core, Invictus asserts that while we cannot control all that happens to us, we can control our response. Henley is telling us all to practice resilience in adversity, to take personal responsibility for our lives no matter what the circumstances may be. Think about the words. He acknowledges that suffering will occur. He does not deny darkness and pain or fear, but he insists that hardship does not define the soul. The poem's imagery of night, darkness, and punishment conveys real suffering, not abstract hardship. Henley remains unbroken. He's telling you that the moral and spiritual independence must never be broken, no matter the person or personal tragedy you may face. Nelson Mandela reportedly drew strength from Invictus when he was in prison. It's frequently cited in leadership battles, military, civil rights, educational contexts. And yes, alpha men all know Invictus. I believe it is that knowledge that led to this choice. Reading your theme also caused me to have a reflective moment of just how I came to be a student at Tuskegee, how I became a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, and even how I came to be this president and CEO. 144 years later, that university stands. But I did not know growing up where life would take me. I did not grow up as a legacy alpha. I didn't arrive at Tuskegee University with a roadmap or a network. You see, I was raised primarily by my grandmother in a small town called Cuthbert, Georgia, a small town southwest Georgia. As my high school years came to a close, I found myself pondering my future, like some of you may be doing today. I was not nearly as advanced as some of the scholars that we've seen. I was sitting on my grandmother's newly screened-in porch. I was helping her read the Albany Herald, which was a paper. My job was to pronounce the big words for her. You see, my grandmother never graduated from any school. She was a domestic worker. She was the widow of a minister, and she had raised 7 children and on her own 3 grandchildren, of whom I was the last. I was what we called the knee baby. I had received some college applications and even a few acceptances. I felt proud of myself. I asked proudly to my grandmother, which one of these should I take? Without ever looking up from the paper, she told me, go down to Tuskegee. They will take care of you. That was the sum total of my college applications and counseling. I did what my grandmother said. I did what she told me. I agreed, and I went to Tuskegee. I had one challenge, and that was that we didn't have a car. My grandmother went to the neighbor's house and asked him to give me a ride. My neighbor was the town undertaker. He owned some nice cars that he used at his business. So I showed up at Tuskegee in a hearse owned by the undertaker. People laughed about that, but I say I came to Tuskegee in style. You know, before I left, my grandmother reached into her personal bank. Some of you who know older women from the South, they had a personal bank. It had a tightly knotted handkerchief in it. She pulled it out. She unknotted it. She gave me a little bit of what was in there. She gave me what was a few dollars. I don't recall how much it was. She told me to take that with me so I would have something in my pocket when I got down to Tuskegee. My grandmother prayed that it would work out for me. That was my scholarship. She did not live to see me graduate. Yet the child who went to Tuskegee on her suggestion will in about 3 weeks sign and confer degrees as the 10th president. My first point to you, young scholars, it doesn't matter where you start from. What matters is where are you going? And I ask you a timeless question. How bad do you want the education? What are you willing to do? Are you the master of your fate? Are you the captain of your soul? It is in that same vein at the same university that I recall my introduction even to Alpha Phi Alpha and the poem Invictus that you celebrate today. One day in the spring of 1982, I saw a flyer on a dormitory wall. Now I know this is Generation Z, so let me explain a flyer. That was my email. That was my Instagram. That was my TikTok. You with me? That's how I got information, a sheet of paper on the wall. It said Alpha Smoker. If you are interested, be there. Now, I didn't know when they said smoker that I was on the menu, but that's what it said. So I showed up in what was the Martin Luther King room of what is the historic Tuskegee University Chapel. I borrowed a suit to go to this event. I also borrowed a red tie. And anybody that knows alphas know you don't show up at the first thing with a red tie, but that's what I had. I walked into the Martin Luther King room. I saw the big picture of brother Martin Luther King, a room full of men who carried themselves differently, men who believed in something bigger than themselves. What I saw that night was leadership, discipline, service, and persistence embodied. The brothers told us about Alpha, what it meant to work toward a selfless life. And then one brother stood up at the end and recited, what do you think he recited? Invictus. He ended the same way that you have for your program. He looked at us and said, I'm the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That was 1982. And while that moment didn't change my life all at once, it did set my direction. I pledged Alpha in the fall of 1983. And so my second message to the amazing scholars who are being recognized today. Young brothers, sometimes being the master of your fate starts with having the courage to go to the meeting, to walk into the room, to borrow a suit if you need to be able to make mistakes but still get in there. And if you're the captain of your soul, you have to decide to stay in the meeting until you get what you came for, even if you were not invited. What I'm saying is that you need to believe that you belong in the meeting and the room, even if you're the only one in the room who knows that. These acts reflect what is meant by Invictus, what is meant to be the master of your fate and the captain of your soul, despite the darkness of the night, or how charged with punishment, the scroll. So what rooms are we talking about? Today's discussion, what really are we talking about? We're talking about that age-old question that I want you to ponder before you leave whatever college you're going to. How bad do you want an education? At Tuskegee, I believe we have the ultimate case study for your consideration. We talked about Booker T. Washington. I offer you to read the book Up From Slavery, his autobiography. It's one of the greatest case studies in persistence for education. He understood what it meant to be the master of your fate. Go back with me to 1860. Before emancipation, before freedom, there was a census taken toward the end of the Civil War. The census was taken in Virginia. It was time to count up and measure everything. That census recorded everything of value: land, livestock, tools, and yes, it counted human beings. The census man arrived to a struggling plantation owned by two folks, James and Elizabeth Burroughs. It recorded 14 children and 7 enslaved people in the house behind the main house. It did not record hopes or dreams. It just assigned dollar values to everything it found. That's what the census does. In that census, a woman named Jane, a black woman, the mother in this group, in the Tuskegee archives, she's listed at valued at $250. In that same cabin lived a young boy. The census does not record his name. It calls him simply a Negro boy. It notes that he is somewhat mulatto. It estimates that he is likely 12 years old with no birth certificate. He has no birth certificate, so the true age is not known. That boy, unnamed, uneducated, and enslaved, is valued in the census at $400. That boy without a name would later give himself a name. He gave himself a first name, a middle name, and a last name, because everybody he saw with 3 names were important people, so he said, I'm going to have 3 names. He named himself Booker Taliaferro Washington. As a child in slavery, Booker T. Washington did not go to school because he was not allowed to, but he walked his master's daughter to school every day so she would not have to carry her books. He would escort her to the door as far as he was allowed to go, and then he would stop, standing there looking through the doorway, listening to the lessons that other children were taught. He looked inside and he recorded in his book. He said, oh, to get an education. Well, that must be like paradise. That's how he explained it. Paradise, something he'd never seen, something he'd hoped to dream that one day he could get a part of. He called education paradise, not comfort, not ease, but paradise, if he could just get it. Well, the Civil War ended and freedom happened for the Washington family. Booker and his family moved to West Virginia, but freedom didn't come without anything. He still had to work. No money, no 40 acres and a mule, only more hard work. Young Booker and his family moved to West Virginia and worked in the salt mines with his stepfather. It was dangerous, exhausting work. But one day while he was working, he overheard men talking about a place called Hampton Institute, a school for Negro students. That rumor changed his life. He set out on foot. Nearly 500 miles he walked to Hampton, Virginia. No money, no map, no guarantee of what would happen when he got there. He slept under bridges. He worked odd jobs. He swept floors in hotels to survive. And when he arrived at Hampton, he couldn't enroll. He said something remarkable. I am not prepared for college, but I will fit myself for this place. He took a job at the college as a janitor. And once again, he swept floors, but this time with purpose. Eventually, he earned tuition. Eventually, he enrolled. Eventually, he became a scholar. Eventually, he graduated. After graduation, Hampton's principal at the time asked Booker T. Washington to return, not as a student, but this time as a teacher. At that same time in Tuskegee, Alabama, a political deal was unfolding. The state of Alabama agreed to provide $2,000 and 100 acres of land for a new school for black students. They needed a principal. They called Hampton. General Armstrong did not hesitate. He said, I have a young man. That same young man, Booker T. Washington, the census valued him at $400. That same man was not referred to by a name, but generalized as the young Negro boy, Booker T. Washington. That same Booker T. Washington who could only get to the schoolhouse door. The same Booker T. Washington who swept floors to pay to go to school. That same Booker T. Washington became the first principal of Tuskegee Normal School and later Tuskegee Institute. That $2,000 that the state gave them, that 100 acres has grown since into over 5,000 acres, a global university, and an annual economic impact of over $200 million. Out of the night that covers me. That's where Booker T came from. Out of the night that covers me. Black as a pit from pole to pole. Remember, students, Washington was born enslaved. He did not know his birthday. He did not know his father, but he did know that education was his way forward. It was his way out. I want to ask you one more time. How bad do you want the education? How bad do you want it? Are you going to let your roommate turn you around from it? How bad do you want your education? Now, finally, I'm happy to report from a firsthand account. That school that started in the basement of a church under the vision and persistence of Principal Booker T. Washington continues to thrive today. Tuskegee is the #1 producer in the state of black aerospace science engineers. Tuskegee is one of the leading producers. Tuskegee is one of the leading producers of black chemical engineers, electrical and mechanical engineering. That's the nation's dividend paying out. We're the #1 producer of black PhD holders in material science. We produce more black military general officers in the military than any other institution, including the service academies. I'm sure of it because I'm one of them. Tuskegee can do that for you. Tuskegee remains the largest school in the state of Alabama that produces math, science, and engineering graduates. Tuskegee has opened a genomics center that is studying cancer related to genes, cervical, breast, and prostate. We're working on that problem that plagues our people. Tuskegee students are shaping the ethics of artificial intelligence. We are prime partners with Google. We are prime partners with Amazon, agentic and generative artificial intelligence, insisting that technology must honor human dignity and protecting the least of these. Tuskegee students are working on farms with the hand. They are working on food insecurity, public health, environmental justice, and the social burdens placed on our people. We're training lawyers to take on that every day. As I speak, Tuskegee students today are in a flying laboratory over Moulton Field. We are training pilots once again on Moulton Field, just like we trained them for the Tuskegee Airmen that won in World War II. Our students are learning how to fly airplanes, and we're doing it by scholarship. It does not cost them a dime. Tuskegee students are becoming veterinarians. This very time next week, 6 days from now, we will graduate just under 60 veterinarians to go out and serve in the country. 70% of all black veterinarians in the United States of America graduated from Tuskegee. 100% of the deans that are Black in all colleges in the United States graduated from Tuskegee. We train veterinarians every day. And while there are over 400,000 colleges of higher education in the United States, only one of them is a National Historic Site as designated by the U.S. Congress, and that is Tuskegee University. And finally, and most important, I am elated today to have with me a full ride scholarship to a qualified Bahamian student who can meet the academic requirements consistent of a presidential scholarship. The value is $47,000 per year. The value is $187,000 for 4 years. Come go home with me. I'm convinced that we can do it. Tuskegee looks forward to awarding this scholarship and more as we continue our relationship of many, many decades with the Bahamian students and this beautiful country. So let me end talking to these scholars where destiny begins, right now with you. Young scholars, the question before you is not whether you are smart enough. I know that you are. It's not whether the road will be hard. I'm sure that it will be. It's not whether the darkness will come. It will come. Trust me. If you live long enough, the darkness will come. Out of the night that covers me, the only question that matters is when it happens. When the night covers you, will you stand up? Will you fight back? Will you want the education so bad that nothing will turn you around? Because education does not reward intention. Good intentions are good, but that's not the reward. The reward is for results. Legacy does not answer to excuses. It answers to effort. And destiny does not come and wait on permission. It responds to courage to take it on. Somewhere right now, a grandmother is still praying. Somewhere, this brotherhood is preparing the battlefield. Somewhere, a place like Tuskegee is waiting for you. Not for perfect young men, but for determined ones. So my word to you is rise up, claim your future. Do the work when no one is watching. Live so boldly that when history calls your name, it does not whisper it. And you said, here I am, send me. Have souls that are unconquered, unbroken, and unbought. Be responsible for your own becoming who you are. And let the world know by your discipline, by your excellence, by your education and your preparation, that you are indeed the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. God bless every one of you. Godspeed. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, for that powerful address. And now we have reached a point in the program that I am sure the honorees were eagerly looking forward to. Honorees, by a show of hands, who likes money? That's what I thought. Coming now to present the professional awards are Brothers Surreal Roll, Brother John Fowler, and Brother Leon Eugene Jr.
Good afternoon. As I was preparing for this award show, I was in the bathroom, I was trying to tie my bow tie. One of the students, one of the honorees, he told me I came to reap all the benefits, all the rewards that I worked for. And what I told him was, it's just the beginning. So to all honorees, this is just the beginning. All right. The 2026 Warren Logan Rule Accounting Award is being presented by Brother Dr. Stephen A. Rule. The 2026 Warren Logan Rule Accounting Award goes to Jaden Sands of St. Augustine's College.
The next accounting award goes to Davion DeVoe, St. Anne's School, Nassau, Bahamas. The 2026 GastroCare Bahamas Health Profession Award goes to Micah Moss, Queens College.
Coming to present the 2026 Engineering Awards is Brother Kevin A. Baisden. The 2026 Engineering Award goes to a student from Doris Johnson High School, Javon Dean.
The next engineering award goes to Cheston Taylor, St. Andrew's Anglican School, Georgetown, Exuma.
The final engineering award is presented to a student from St. George's High School, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Naziah Hepburn.
Architecture Award is presented to Jaden Bethel, Preston H. Aubrey High School, Rock Sound, Eleuthera.
The next Architecture Award is presented to a student from Lower Bogue, Eleuthera, North Eleuthera High School, Dexter Cambridge Jr. Coming to present the Government and Civil Servant Politics and Communication Award is Brother Ricardo DeVoe. The 2026 Government Civil Servants Politics and Politics Award goes to Malik Isaacs of North Eleuthera High School.
The 2026 Communications Award goes to Jaden Sykes, St. Augustine's College.
The next 2026 Communications Award goes to a student from Queens College, Micah Moss. Coming to present the Sales and Marketing Awards is Osborne Pratt of Commonwealth Bank Limited. The 2026 Legal Award goes to Kendall Miller from St. Andrews International School.
The second legal award goes to Kirsch Mackey Jr., St. Augustine's College.
You know. The 2026 Sales and Marketing Award goes to Keanu Carey, San Salvador Central High School.
The next Sales and Marketing Award goes to Izon McDonald from Spanish Wells Eleuthera Samuel Guy Penner All Age School.
Can Keanu Carey come back to the stage, please? It's a laptop fully outfitted with firewall and all of the bells and whistles, fully loaded.
The 2026 Marine Science Award goes to Ricardo McKinsey, Central Eleuthera High School, North Palmetto Point, Eleuthera.
Coming to present the 2026 Information Technology Award is Brother Othniel Dames. The 2026 Information Technology Award goes to a student from C.C. Sweeting High School, Kendall Brooks.
The second Information Technology Award goes to a student from San Salvador Central High School, Keanu Carey.
Coming to present the 2026 Computer Science Awards is Jamali Joma of Fidelity Bank Limited. The 2026 Computer Science Award goes to a student of Samuel Guy Pender All Age School, Spanish Wells, Eleuthera, Izon McDonald.
The next Computer Science Awards goes to a student from Allen Copley High School, Exuma, Tyrese McKenzie. The 2026 Financial Services Awards goes to E.J. Smith of Bishop Michael Eldon High School, Grand Bahama.
Coming to present the Mathematics, Actuarial Science, and General Studies Portfolio Awards is Rod B. Bain, the Deputy Superintendent at the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas. The 2026 Mathematics and Actuarial Science Award goes to a student from Queens College, Gary Neely. The next 2026 Mathematics and Actuarial Science Award goes to a student from St. Andrews International School, Jahan Chatlani Pickstock.
The 2026 General Studies Award goes to DeAnthan Roll Davis, St. John's College High School. The 2026 Portfolio Awards goes to Ethan Taylor of Nassau Christian Academy. Ethan Taylor is not here at this time.
The next 2026 Portfolio Award goes to Micah Moss of Queens College.
The final 2026 Portfolio Award goes to Brent Aubrey, St. John's College. The 2026 General Studies Award goes to DeAnthan Roll Davis, St. John's College.
Coming to present the 2026 Information Technology Awards is Brother Joshua Nuri. So we'll move on to the Health Profession Award. Coming to present the Health Professional Awards of 2026 is Brother Dr. Aki Minis. The 2026 Health Profession Award goes to Christopher Carter of Bahamas Academy.
The next 2026 Health Profession Award goes to Alexander Farrington, Allen Copley High School, Exuma.
Coming to present the Dr. Adrian Cargill Jr. STEM Award is Brother Algernon M. Cargill Sr. The 2026 Dr. Adrian Cargill Jr. STEM Award goes to Kirsch Maki of St. Augustine's College. The 2026 Wolseley Construction Award will be presented by Brother Desmond Wood. Oh. Okay. Okay. So the 2026 Wolseley Construction Award goes to Gary Neely of Queens College. Oh, that's the sponsor, but that is the STEM award. All right, thank you for your time.
Can we have one more round of applause for all of our awardees? But wait, there's more. Coming now to present the Reverend Orrin A. Pratt Emerging Leader Award is the president of the Sigma Beta Lambda chapter, seated in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Brother Ravano Ferguson.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Coming to actually present this award will be Brother Gregory Butler for our 2026 Reverend O. A. Pratt Emerging Leader Award. And that award goes to Darius McQueen, Huntley Peak Christian High School, Nicholstown, Andros. The 2026 Communication Award, sponsored by the Will to Give Foundation, goes to Gary Neely, Queens College, Nassau. This afternoon, the Bahamas Alpha's Education and Leadership Foundation is proud to present its philanthropic award to No Child Left Behind. The recipient of this award is remarkable 17-year-old, a 12th grade prefect at Temple Christian High School, an individual who stands as a shining example of resilience, determination, and purpose. One who firmly believes that circumstances do not define or limit your potential. Driven and industrious, this young scholar has distinguished themselves both academically and professionally. As a part-time employee, at Wendy's, they are regarded as dependable and exemplary. Their work ethic, discipline, and commitment to excellence reflect someone who's focused, intentional, and destined to be great. A natural leader, consistently molding integrity, responsibility, and positive behavior among peers. Not one to rely on title alone, this individual leads by example, quietly inspiring others to rise higher. Beyond the classroom, their involvement in their extracurricular activities reveals a well-rounded character. With a deep and growing passion for the Maritime Cadet Program, through this journey, they have developed the leadership, confidence, and profound appreciation for the maritime industry. Looking ahead, the recipient aspires to become a marine scientist, driven by a desire to protect and preserve and give a voice to the beauty and vitality of the marine life. This is more than a career goal, it's a calling. On June 11, 2026, this outstanding young individual will be graduating, marking the beginning of a brand new chapter. Soon after, they will continue their journey at the University of the Bahamas. The scholarship is more than a financial support, it's an investment. is a promise in perseverance and in purpose. And now, the 2026 No Child Left Behind recipient is a proud resident of the Ramfley Home for the Children, an institution established in 1956 by Lady Ramfley, which has provided care, guidance, and opportunity for generations. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in warmly welcoming the 2026 No Child Left Behind Award recipient, Zynisha Mason, to the stage.
Returning to the podium is Brother Algernon Cargo, Chairman of the Bahamas Alphas Educational and Leadership Foundation, to present the Brother Holland G. Smith Family Island Scholar Award, presented to the top honoree coming from the Family Island, as well as the Brother Dr. George H. Sherman Salutatorian Award and the Brother Timothy Boswell Donaldson Valedictorian Award. That's not quite right.
Good afternoon. Before I get to those awards, I have a handful of others to award. It is my pleasure to award, on behalf of Dr. Brown, could you come to the stage, as well as President Wilson? A full ride scholarship to Tuskegee University. This award is presented to a student from Queens College, Mr. Michael Moss. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Dr. Smothers, could you come to the stage, please? I have 4 full-ride STEM scholarships to Benedict College in South Carolina. Our first STEM scholarship goes to Justice Roach from the 8 Mile Rock High School. Our second STEM scholarship, full ride, goes to Izon McDonald from Samuel Guy Pindle All-Age School. Our third goes to Alexander Farrington from Ellen Coakley High School. And our final goes to a student from New Providence, from a school in the East. Javan Dean, Doris Johnson High School. We have two $20,000 a year scholarships to Middle Tennessee State University. Our first goes to Julian Roll from North Long Island High School. And our second goes to Dexter Cambridge II from Northern Lutheran High School. We have two scholarships awarded by the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. A former speaker, these are presidential scholarships to any Thurgood Marshall school. And these awards, the first goes to Naziah Hepburn from St. George's High School. And our second goes to Ryan Gibson from Sunland Baptist School. Could we have Dr. Maurice Gibson from Philander Smith University to the stage, please? He's upgraded one of these scholarships, and we'll get back to the honoree afterwards. Our first scholarship is a presidential scholarship to Philander Smith University, and this award goes to Mr. Kendall Brooks. And we have two Mason scholarships. Dr. Gibson has agreed to upgrade one of these. Hopefully he'll say two, but you want the mic? These Mason scholarships, which cover full tuition at Philander Smith University, awarded to Keanu Carey from San Salvador. And DeAnthony Roll Davis from St. John's College. Thank you, Brother Gibson. Brother Gibson, have a seat. We'll probably do a picture afterwards. Work on you. We work on you to upgrade those scholarships. So we have 3 tuition scholarships to Houston Tillotson University. Unfortunately, I have 2 letters, but we will still award the 3 scholarships. The first scholarship, we can call the 3 up together, present them, goes to Davion DeVoe from St. Anne's School. Our second goes to Brent Aubrey from St. John's College. And our third, and I apologize that the letter's not here, but this scholarship goes to Kirsch Mackey Jr. from St. Augustine's College. I'll ask Brother Smothers to come back, please. I'm calling him so often because he's a partner with the Bahamas Alpha's Educational and Leadership Foundation, and he's been able to help us secure most of these scholarships on your behalf. So Dr. Smothers was working late yesterday, and he called me with exciting news that he had 3 presidential scholarships, a Bethune-Cookman University, an historic HBCU. And our first goes to Kevin Williams, R.M. Bailey High School. Our second goes to Gregory Lang from Bishop Michael Allen School. And the third goes to Ethan Mackey from Aquinas College. We have a full scholarship to study cybersecurity at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This scholarship goes to Malik Isaacs from Northern Lutheran High School. I'm happy to award a presidential scholarship to Morris College in Sumter, South Carolina. And this scholarship goes to Noah Pickering from St. Anne's School. And our tuition scholarship to Morris College goes to Branford Mullings from Nassau Christian Academy. And sitting here, Brother Smothers received an urgent email with a full scholarship award to Florida Memorial University. And this scholarship goes to, I'm going to get the name right. Yes, thank you. It goes to Dante Davis. We can ask our presidents to take a seat, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we have several other scholarship awards, and I don't want to make any mistakes. So out of an abundance of caution, but should I do them now or do them later? Because the ones you got today. I'm not, pardon me? No, we just do this now. Excuse me, matter to confer. We have 2 tuition scholarships, and these awards will be presented now on the letters provided later today. These are worth $15,000 a year over 4 years. Our first goes to Nifa Wright from a Capricorn International School. And our second goes to Makari Lockhart from Prince William High School. And we have a scholarship to a student to go to Stillman College. It was received just today. We provide the communication. This scholarship goes to Gabrielle Williams. So, Brother Smothers was able to obtain today out of state waivers and a minimum scholarship of $20,000 a year, $20,000 distributed over 4 academic years, as well as acceptance to the Honor College of Southern University. These scholarships are awarded to Christopher Carter, And these students would have received awards already, but I'm going to call them out. Michael Moss. Donnell Ferdinand. And Justice Roach. Okay, we will have more scholarship awards after the end of the program. And I'm still giving my brother, future General President of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, to upgrade and deliver more scholarships to these outstanding young men. Brother Gibson. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the end of our show, and I have 3 major scholarships to provide. I'm going to call on Mrs. Tammy Thompson from the Insurance Commission, from Custom Computers, as well as our sponsors from Commonwealth Bank, the Insurance Commission, and Fidelity Bank. And our other two college chapter presidents. Could you come forward, please, presidents? Is Commonwealth Bank and Fidelity, are they here? Commonwealth Bank and Fidelity? Okay, I'm going to continue. Brother Holland G. Smith, Family Island Scholar. Our 2026 brother Holland G. Smith, Family Island Scholar, obtained an outstanding score of 92.43% in our examination. He attends perhaps one of the smaller schools in the 2026 Honors Day program. His referees wrote, "Beyond the classroom, he is a well-mannered, respectful, and principled individual who conducts himself with integrity. He is naturally inclined towards leadership and has earned the respect of both peers and staff through his actions rather than words. His involvement around the campus has been positive and impactful, particularly in the way he guides and supports junior students, serving as a role model and mentor. He leads by example, demonstrating empathy, accountability, and sound judgment." Ladies and gentlemen, honorees, please welcome our 2026 Brother Holland G. Smith Family Island Scholar, who receives a cash prize of $2,000 plus a computer from Customs Computer. This scholarship goes to Mr. Izon McDonald from the Samuel Guy Pinder School in Spanish Wells, Eleuthera. Can I ask our college presidents to join us for these awards, please, also? Brothers Gibson, Brown, and Smothers, on stage, please. Our brother, Dr. George Sherman, Salutatorian Award. Our 2026 brother Dr. George Sherman, Salutatorian Award, obtained the second highest score of 93.207% in the 4-hour Bahamas Alpha's Educational and Leadership Comprehensive Exam. One of his referees wrote, "While in grade 11, he undertook the BGCSE keyboarding course and completed the examination an entire year early, earning an impressive B grade. Achieving this milestone ahead of schedule highlights his maturity, decision, and strong work ethic. Throughout the course, he consistently demonstrated focus, accuracy, and pride in his work, setting him apart as a student capable of excelling in advanced academic challenges. He has a cumulative GPA of 3.83 and an outstanding SAT score of 1,470. Ladies and gentlemen, you've already seen our 2026 Valedictorian on stage collecting several awards. Let us again welcome him back, this time as our Valedictorian of the Bahamas Alphas Education and Leadership Foundation Honors Day Award. Let's welcome to the stage again, Mr. Gary Neely of Queens College. I forgot to give this to the other one. So we have one more award. We're gonna ask our 3 top awardees to come and take a group photo afterwards. Our brother Timothy Boswell Donaldson, a Valedictorian Award. This person will be asked to give an extemporaneous thank you at the end of my presentation. Our 2026 brother T. Boswell Donaldson, Valedictorian, is a male student. He obtained, I know, right? But that was deliberate. He obtained the highest comprehensive score of 95.012% in the 2026 Bahamas Alphas Educational and Leadership Foundation examinations. His referee wrote, "He is an exemplary student. In my 33 years teaching career, he ranks in the top 10% of all students I have taught. He always submits work that is neat, thoughtful, and punctual. He's also a conscientious student who pays keen attention in class. Of special note is his excellent writing ability. He has a concise, mature style with a wide vocabulary. His essays are meticulous and thorough and are a pleasure to read." Another referee wrote, "After having taught him for 3 years, I can proudly say that I have found him to be a young man who has displayed numerous positive characters and values that exemplify a role model student. His passion for education, drive for academic excellence, and his ability to manage his time wisely are all reflected in the excellent grades he's received this year. He has a 3.98 GPA and has achieved the best performance in the mathematics in his BJC exam. He also has an outstanding score of 1470 in the SAT exam and obtained the highest comprehensive score in our exam. He wants to study accounting and finance in university and is from New Providence. He attends St. Augustine's College. Honorees, ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 valedictorian is Mr. Jaden Sands from St. Augustine's College.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who know me, all you guys should know I'm not that great at public speaking at all. And today I did not expect to come here and receive the scholarship for valedictorian for the 2026 Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated. I stand here today before another 74 established and esteemed young gentlemen who are in this program with me. Many and after these couple months being in the program with them and this weekend that I got to spend time, I hope that I can call all of you guys my brothers, my friends, and my family. I'm not going to say much, but I do have many individuals who I'd like to thank for bringing me here today. First of all, I would like to thank the Lord our God, who brought me here where I am right now. I've always been a young man who strived to keep my faith unwavering, and I know that through him, all things are possible. I would like to thank my family, especially my mother and father who are in the back there. They've been my top supporters for all 16 years of my life, and I hope that they'll continue to support me through all of my future endeavors. I would like to thank all of my friends, especially from my school. I couldn't done it without them. They provided me the emotional and structural support that I needed to stand here today. Yes, thank you, whoever said that. I would like to thank my teachers, especially Mr. Pratt for English, who I'm sure you guys have heard his reference letter. That was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Pratt, if you're listening. But again, thank you, everyone, and I truly appreciate it.
Jaden receives a $6,000 cash award. Our salutatorian received a $3,000 cash award, and a Family Island Scholar a $2,000 cash award. Jaden.
Let's have one more round of applause for our valedictorian. What an amazing afternoon and evening it has been. We've gotten to see, honor, and award some distinguished young men within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we wish each and every one of them all the best in their future endeavors, whatever their next steps may be from here. Coming now to bring the vote of thanks is Brother Leslie Wilson, President of the Phi Mu chapter seated at the University of the Bahamas.
Good afternoon. Honorees, as you depart this afternoon to embark upon a new chapter in your lives, carry with you these enduring words from Invictus by William Ernest Henley. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. As we bring to a close the 39th Honors Day Convocation, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the 75 young men who participated in this weekend's program. Your achievements stand as a testament to discipline, perseverance, and excellence. We express our sincerest gratitude to the parents and guardians, principals, guidance counselors, whose unwavering support and nurturing have been instrumental in shaping these outstanding young men. Your commitment has helped guide them to this moment of well-deserved recognition for their academic and scholastic excellence. To our valued corporate sponsors, we offer our deepest thanks for your generosity and steadfast support. Your contributions continue to make this initiative possible and impactful. We extend special appreciation to Ashley's Furniture Home Store, Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas Waste Management Limited, Bahamas Air, Cable Bahamas, CIBC Limited, Custom Computers, Fidelity Bank Bahamas Limited, Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, Lombard Audio and Site Bahamas Limited, Nassau Agencies, Quality Home Center, Royal Bank of Canada Bahamas Limited, Scotiabank Bahamas Limited, Sun Oil, Western Air, Worsley Construction Company Limited. We also extend a sincere thank you to the presidents and representatives of Benedict College, Columbia, South Carolina, Bethune-Cookman University, Daytona Beach, Florida, Lamone Owen College, Memphis, Tennessee, Houston-Tilliston University, Austin, Texas, Florida Memorial University, Miami Gardens, Florida, Philander Smith University, Little Rock, Arkansas, Thurgood Marshall College Fund, Middle Tennessee State University, Tennessee, Morris College, Sumner, South Carolina. Special recognition is extended to Brother Arginal M. Cargill, the chairman of the Bahamas Alphas Education and Leadership Foundation, and the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Nassau, and Grand Bahama chapters. The Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker and Mrs. Julia Walker, Dr. Roderick M. Smothers, Sr., Dr. Maurice Gibson, Dr. Gregory J. Harris, St. George Anglican Church. To our audience present here today, as well as these joining via television and social media, thank you for your presence and continued support. Finally, we extend our deepest appreciation to our keynote speaker, Brother Dr. Mark A. Brown, 10th President of Tuskegee University, for delivering a powerful and thought-provoking address that has inspired us all. May we leave here today committed to excellence, service, and leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Wilson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you once again for joining us this evening, and we pray that you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Could we have our 3 scholarship winners on stage, please? Our 3 top scholarship winners, and then we'll have the others.
Can the honorees state a